What a government shutdown really means for the housing market now that it's over. Hi, everyone. I'm David Hittle, doing business at Shopkentuckyhomes LLC, your real estate specialist with United Real Estate Louisville. Now that the most recent government shutdown has come to an end, many buyers and sellers are asking, what exactly happened? And how did it affect the housing market? Today, I'll break down what actually changed, what slowed down, and what it means for you moving forward. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button in the lower right for the latest real estate news and Kentucky specific insights. So, what generally happens during a government shutdown? When the federal government shuts down, many agencies partially or fully pause services. This doesn't usually crash the housing market, but it does slow the system. According to the Congressional Research Service, shutdowns cause delays in mortgage processing, verifications, and government backed loan approvals, but not full stoppages, but meaningful slowdowns. So even though the shutdown is now behind us, it is important to understand the mechanics for the next time this comes up in the news cycle. So how were mortgages affected? Here's what actually slowed down during the shutdown. IRS verification delays. Most lenders require an IRS income verification, and during the shutdown, IRS staffing was reduced, which slowed turnaround times. FHA loans, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, typically continues insuring FHA loans, but at reduced staffing levels, meaning slower processing. VA home loans continued to operate because the VA is funded separately, but certain administrative steps may have taken longer. USDA or rural housing loans were the most impacted loan type, and during the shutdown, the USDA typically pauses processing of all new loan guarantees. Now that the shutdown is over, though, all of these services have resumed normal processing speeds. So, did housing sales stop? Did home sales stop? No. Real estate continues even during government shutdowns. But according to the National Association of Realtors, shutdowns can temporarily delay thousands of closings due to verification or loan processing bottlenecks. In other words, the market doesn't freeze, it just hits a traffic jam. And now that the shutdown is finished, that backlog clears quickly as agencies return to full staffing. So, what was the biggest impact? Well, the biggest impact was in confidence. Shutdowns rarely cause long term damage to housing. According to the Federal Reserve, the largest short term impact is just consumer confidence and not really housing fundamentals. Buyers may pause because of the uncertainty. Sellers may hold off on listing until things feel normal again. But historically, once the shutdown ends, activity rebounds within weeks and not months. So, what does this mean for buyers now post shutdown? Well, now that the government is fully reopened, mortgage processing times will normalize, USDA loan approvals will resume, IRS verifications are back on schedule, FHA and VA loan timelines will speed up again. For buyers in the Louisville, Shelbyville, and Frankfort regions, if you paused your search during the shutdown, this is a good time to get re engaged. Pre approvals may need some updating. Rates and income documents can move fast. USDA buyers, especially, should act now since their pipeline may have briefly been paused because of the shutdown. Expect a little surge in buyer activity as delayed closings funnel through the system. What does this mean for sellers? Well, if you are planning to sell or already on the market, here's what to expect. Delayed buyers may re enter the market, increasing showings. Closings that were held up should now move forward. USDA heavy rural counties may see increased buyer activity. Confidence will improve post-shutdown, which can help pricing stability. If your home was listed during the shutdown and activity slowed, do not panic. It may have been temporary and external. Here are the final takeaways. Shutdowns do not break the housing market, they just slow it. Now that the most recent shutdown is over, agencies are back online, loan processing is speeding up, and buyer confidence is returning. For both buyers and sellers, the obstacles were temporary. Your long-term plan matters more than a short-term political stoppage. If you'd like to understand how this situation affected your buying or selling plans, or what your next steps should be in today's Kentucky housing market, I'm here to help. I am David Hittle, doing business as Shopkentuckyhomes LLC, your real estate specialist with United Real Estate Louisville. Please make sure you subscribe for more real estate updates, market breakdowns, and insights tailored to our region. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.